Improving sleep quality and mastering relaxation before bedtime with Stoic principles is an exciting journey, and I'm eager to dive into this topic. Let's explore how Stoicism's timeless wisdom can guide us toward peaceful rest and rejuvenation. Recognizing the connection between mind and sleep, from the moment I first considered Stoic principles in the context of sleep, it became clear that quality rest is more than just physical, it's deeply tied to our mental state. The Stoics were keenly aware of the mind-body connection. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that the mind can be calm even when the body is in turmoil, and this resonates profoundly when considering sleep. Lying awake at night, thoughts racing, I found it challenging to fall asleep. But then I asked myself, what if I applied Stoic teachings to my bedtime routine? Stoicism encourages us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot. For me, this realization became the key to quieting my mind and preparing for restful sleep. The practice of evening reflection, one of the most effective techniques I adopted from Stoicism to improve my sleep quality, was the practice of evening reflection, often referred to as the daily review. This practice involves reflecting on the events of the day, not with judgment or criticism, but with a calm and objective mindset. Seneca taught us to examine our thoughts and actions at the end of each day, considering what we did well, where we faltered, and how we could improve. By adopting this Stoic practice, I found that it not only helped me grow as a person but also calmed my mind before bed. Instead of lying awake replaying conversations or stressing about unfinished tasks, I had already reviewed and accepted my day. This allowed me to approach sleep with a clear conscience and a tranquil mind. Letting go of anxiety before sleep, many nights, I used to find myself worrying about the future. Anxious thoughts about work, relationships, or goals would swirl in my mind, preventing me from relaxing. Stoicism taught me the profound importance of living in the present and letting go of anxiety about the future. Epictetus reminds us that while we cannot control external events, we can control our thoughts and reactions. Applying this wisdom, I began consciously releasing thoughts about tomorrow and focusing on the present moment before bed. The mind's endless chatter became quieter when I reminded myself that tomorrow will unfold as it must, and worrying about it will not change the outcome. Instead of ruminating, I practiced gratitude for the present, appreciating the stillness of the night, the comfort of my bed, and the opportunity for rest. This shift in perspective was transformative for my sleep. Embracing calm with Stoic breathwork, to further enhance my relaxation before bed, I turned to another key Stoic practice, breath control. The Stoics were aware of the power of breath in maintaining control over the mind. By regulating our breathing, we can calm the nervous system and bring ourselves into a state of peace. In the moments before I went to bed, I practiced deep, mindful breathing. Inhaling slowly and deeply, I held my breath for a few seconds before exhaling just as slowly. This simple practice not only soothed my body but also allowed my mind to settle into the present moment, shedding the day's stress. By focusing solely on my breath, I pushed away distractions and entered a state of relaxed awareness, a perfect prelude to sleep. Reducing digital distractions in the evening. One of the most significant obstacles to good sleep in today's world is our relationship with technology. I realized that the blue light from screens and the constant influx of information from social media and news were negatively impacting my ability to wind down before bed. Inspired by the Stoic principle of living simply and focusing only on what is essential, I began creating a digital sunset in the evenings. Just as the Stoics would retreat into quiet contemplation, would turn off all screens at least an hour before bed. By removing these distractions, I allowed my mind to gradually transition into a state of calm, free from the stimulation of the digital world. The power of Stoic meditation before sleep. One of the most powerful tools I adopted from Stoicism to improve my sleep quality was the practice of Stoic meditation. Unlike traditional forms of meditation, which focus on clearing the mind, Stoic meditation encourages active reflection on key philosophical ideas. Before bed, I would spend a few moments meditating on key Stoic principles, such as the impermanence of life, the importance of virtue, and the acceptance of things beyond my control. This mental exercise not only aligned my thoughts with Stoic wisdom but also brought a profound sense of peace and detachment from daily worries. This meditative practice created a mental buffer between the day's challenges and the restful state needed for sleep. It allowed me to put everything into perspective, reminding me of the bigger picture and giving me permission to release the trivial concerns that had been keeping me awake. Physical relaxation and the Stoic body-mind connection. Stoicism isn't just about mental discipline, it also recognizes the importance of caring for the body. In ancient times, Stoics like Epictetus emphasized that the body and mind are interconnected, and physical relaxation can influence mental well-being. I started incorporating gentle stretching or yoga into my nightly routine. This practice, combined with deep breathing, helped to release physical tension accumulated throughout the day. By soothing my muscles, I found it much easier to relax both physically and mentally as I prepared for sleep. This physical care reflected the Stoic belief that while we shouldn't overindulge the body, we must maintain it in a healthy state to support our mental clarity. Managing expectations of sleep with Stoic acceptance. One of the most surprising challenges I encountered on my journey to better sleep was the anxiety surrounding sleep itself. I found myself worried about not getting enough sleep or waking up during the night. This, of course, only made it harder to relax. It was during this struggle that I remembered Epictetus's lesson: we must accept things as they are, not as we wish them to be. Applying this principle to my sleep, I learned to accept that some nights may be restless, and that's okay. Instead of stressing about sleep, I embraced the uncertainty. If I woke up during the night, I would calmly practice my breathing techniques or engage in a short Stoic meditation. Rather than fretting about lost sleep, this acceptance was liberating. By letting go of the need for perfect sleep, I found that my sleep quality actually improved. The pressure was gone, and in its place was a sense of calm and surrender to the natural rhythm of rest. Developing a consistent Stoic bedtime routine. Stoicism teaches the value of routine and discipline, and this is especially important when it comes to sleep. I developed a consistent bedtime routine that mirrored Stoic practices. Each night, I followed the same steps: reflection, breath work, and meditation. Over time, my body and mind became accustomed to this routine, recognizing it as a signal to wind down. This routine not only improved my sleep but also strengthened my overall sense of discipline and self-mastery. It became a cornerstone of my Stoic practice, reminding me that small, consistent actions can lead to profound results over time. The Stoic approach to waking up refreshed. Finally, the Stoic principles I applied to my evening routine also transformed my mornings. Instead of hitting the snooze button or waking up groggy, I embraced the Stoic idea of beginning each day with purpose and gratitude. Marcus Aurelius famously wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive." With this mindset, I began my day with energy and focus, feeling refreshed from a night of Stoic-guided sleep. In conclusion, applying Stoic principles to my sleep routine has been a game-changer. By aligning my thoughts and actions with Stoic wisdom, I've learned how to relax, let go of anxiety, and achieve a restful night's sleep. It's not just about physical rest, it's about nurturing both the body and the soul. Through mindfulness, reflection, and acceptance, I've transformed my sleep into a deeply restorative experience, and I invite you to do the same. The Stoic art of letting go of what we can't control. As my journey into Stoic philosophy deepened, I began to understand that a major source of stress and sleeplessness was my attachment to things outside of my control. Whether it was the pressure from work, personal relationships, or unexpected events, these external forces were weighing me down, robbing me of peace before bedtime. This is where Stoic principles help me the most. The Stoics teach that we must focus only on what we can control and accept what we cannot. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on this in his meditations, reminding himself to let go of the outcomes and to concentrate on his own actions. This simple but profound shift in mindset became crucial in my ability to unwind and find relaxation before bed. In the past, I would lie awake, my mind racing with thoughts about everything I hadn't accomplished that day or fears about what might go wrong the next day. Now, instead of allowing these thoughts to spiral, I apply the Stoic principle of focusing on what's within my power. I remind myself that all I can do is act with integrity, make the best decisions I can in the moment, and let go of the rest. Each night, as part of my bedtime routine, I spend a few moments mentally separating what is within my control from what isn't. This process helps me release the unnecessary burdens I've been carrying and accept the events of the day with grace. The result? A calm mind and a body ready for rest. Evening reflection and the Stoic practice of self-examination. One of the most powerful tools I've adopted from Stoicism to improve my sleep quality is the practice of evening reflection. The Stoics, particularly Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, often wrote about the importance of self-examination at the end of each day. It's a way to reflect on one's actions, assess where we lived according to our values, and plan how to improve tomorrow. At night, before I go to bed, I take a few minutes to reflect on my day. I ask myself questions like, did I act with wisdom and virtue today? Did I allow external events to disturb my inner peace? How can I approach tomorrow with more clarity and calm? This reflective practice not only helps me learn from my mistakes but also gives me a sense of closure for the day. There's something incredibly freeing about this nightly ritual. Instead of carrying unresolved emotions or regrets into my sleep, I acknowledge them, learn from them, and let them go. This mental decluttering process prepares my mind for rest and ensures that I'm not burdened by guilt or anxiety as I lie down. Stoic self-examination isn't about judgment or self-criticism, it's about growth. By calmly reviewing my day through the lens of Stoic principles, I cultivate a sense of inner tranquility that carries me through the night. Cultivating gratitude for the present moment. Gratitude is not often associated with Stoicism, yet when I explored deeper into Stoic texts, I realized that Stoic philosophers often emphasized appreciating the present moment. Marcus Aurelius wrote extensively about the beauty of life's fleeting moments, encouraging us to live fully in the now. Incorporating this Stoic gratitude into my bedtime routine has had a profound effect on my sleep quality. Each night, as I prepare for bed, I take time to focus on what I am grateful for. This isn't a superficial practice, It's a deep reflection on the day's moments, the lessons learned, and the simple joys of life. I've found that when I consciously focus on gratitude, my mind shifts away from worry and stress. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong or what I wish had been different, I focus on the good. This positivity sets a peaceful tone for my night, allowing me to drift off with a sense of contentment. The Stoic practice of gratitude also helps me cultivate an appreciation for the present moment, something that's often overlooked in our fast-paced lives. Instead of rushing through my day, I savor small moments of joy, a beautiful sunset, a quiet walk, or a kind word from a friend. This shift in perspective not only enriches my day but also brings a deep sense of satisfaction that carries over into my sleep. The power of silence and stillness before bed, in a world that is constantly noisy, filled with the hum of technology, the chatter of social media, and the demands of everyday life, Stoicism taught me the immense power of silence and stillness. As part of my evening routine, I make time for quiet and solitude, allowing myself to disconnect from the chaos of the day. Stoic philosophers often spoke of the importance of inner stillness. Marcus Aurelius advised us to retreat into ourselves when we feel overwhelmed by the world. This retreat doesn't mean physical isolation, but rather a mental and emotional withdrawal from external distractions, so we can find calm within. Before bed, I create a peaceful environment that promotes stillness. I turn off my phone, dim the lights, and spend a few moments in silence. Whether through meditation, deep breathing, or simply sitting in quiet reflection, I embrace this time to connect with my inner self. This stillness acts as a buffer between the busyness of the day and the restful state of sleep. It allows me to calm my racing thoughts, release tension from my body, and enter a state of relaxation. Through this practice, I've discovered that true rest begins not when I close my eyes, but in the moments of quiet I create before bed. Stoic acceptance of imperfection for a restful night. One of the most important Stoic teachings that has impacted my sleep is the idea of accepting imperfection. As someone who often strives for perfection in all areas of life, I used to carry the weight of unmet expectations into my nights. Whether it was a task left unfinished or a goal not yet achieved, these thoughts would haunt me as I tried to sleep. Stoicism, however, teaches us to embrace the reality of imperfection. We are human, and we will make mistakes, face setbacks, and encounter obstacles. The key is not to resist these imperfections but to accept them as part of life's natural course. When I learned to let go of the need for everything to be perfect, I found a sense of relief that I had never experienced before. I stopped obsessing over the small details and began to appreciate the progress I had made, no matter how small. This acceptance allowed me to release any lingering frustration or self-criticism before bed, leading to a more peaceful night's sleep. By practicing Stoic acceptance, I realized that rest is not a reward for a perfect day but a necessary part of self-care and rejuvenation. Embracing this mindset shift has been one of the most transformative aspects of my Stoic journey toward better sleep. Cultivating patience and the power of routine. As I continued to apply Stoic principles to my nightly routine, I realized the importance of cultivating patience. Sleep doesn't always come easily, especially when the mind is restless or the body is tense. But instead of becoming frustrated or anxious, I turned to the Stoic virtue of patience, trusting that sleep would come when it was time. I developed a bedtime routine that allowed me to gradually unwind, signaling to my body and mind that it was time to rest. I prioritized activities that promoted relaxation, such as reading, journaling, or listening to calming music. Over time, this routine became a source of comfort and stability, creating a sense of predictability that my mind could rely on. By practicing patience and consistency in my sleep routine, I found that sleep became less of a struggle and more of a natural transition. I no longer pressured myself to fall asleep instantly or worried about waking up in the middle of the night. Instead, I trusted that my body knew what it needed, and I allowed myself to relax into the process. Waking up with purpose, a new day, a fresh start. Finally, as I embraced the Stoic approach to sleep, I also transformed my mornings. Stoicism teaches that each day is a fresh start, an opportunity to live in alignment with our highest values. When I wake up after a restful night, I feel energized and motivated to approach the day with purpose. Instead of rushing into my day with a sense of urgency, I take a moment to reflect on the new opportunities that lie ahead. I remind myself of the Stoic teachings, focusing on what I can control, practicing virtue in all my actions, and embracing challenges as opportunities for growth. This morning reflection sets a positive tone for the rest of my day. By starting with intention and gratitude, I carry the peace I've cultivated during the night into the hours ahead. It's a reminder that, no matter what happens, I have the tools to remain grounded, calm, and in control of my inner state, and that is the ultimate gift of Stoicism, the ability to navigate life's challenges with grace, wisdom, and inner peace, both during the day and in the quiet moments before sleep.